Hello guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Jovita Ume. Today's video is on how to make this classy and beautiful dress with pleated side design effect. This video is self-explanatory and well detailed from start to finish. Even if you don't know how to sew, after watching this video, you can actually start making beautiful dresses like these for yourself. If you can sew as well, after watching this tutorial, you can add this design to your ready-to-wear collections and start making extra money for yourself. So, if this is what interests you, ensure to watch this video to the end. So guys, let's get straight to it. Before I forge ahead, if you are new to my channel, you are welcome. Please subscribe. Thank you. The fabric I used for this dress is a bit stretchy, 3 yards of a light design crepe, and the tools that I used are scissors, a tape rule, chalk, a drafting paper, your marker, your pen, your ruler, and hip curve. The measurements we need for this tutorial are your waist circumference, your hip circumference, your bust circumference, under bust circumference, waist to hip, your gown length minus your half length, your shoulder, your sleeve length, your round sleeve, and your armhole. So I started off by drafting a basic skirt pattern. I uploaded the video on how I drafted it last week. I also linked it up in the description box. This is especially for beginners or people that don't know how to sew. Please make sure you check the description box or the comment section for the link to the video. Watch it and draft out your own pattern, because that is what I am using in this video. So after drafting the basic skirt pattern, I took out the front pattern. You have to fold your fabric first and place the front pattern. You can secure it with an office pin so it doesn't shift. So after placing it, for a plus size person, extend it. Just place your tape rule and extend the measurements and mark it out with your chalk. Then if the measurement you're working with is smaller than the pattern, just go ahead and trace it out like that and cut it. Then after cutting it, you can then reduce the measurements and cut. But here in this tutorial, the pattern is exactly the same apart from the length. As you can see in the video, the length of the pattern is shorter than the length I am working with. The length I am working with is your full gown length minus the half length. That is 37 minus 17. We are getting 20 inches plus extra 2 inches allowance, making it 22 inches. So I had to place my tape rule and I extended the measurements. Extend it and use your chalk to mark it out as I am doing. After marking it out, I went ahead to cut it carefully and remember the extra length added. So after that, I placed my back pattern on my folded fabric and I repeated exactly the same thing I did for the front pattern. After doing that, I went ahead to cut it out too. Remember to notch your zip allowance as I am doing in the video, and then for the extra length added, use your chalk and extend the zip allowance line. Do this carefully and also notch the down part of the zip allowance. After that, I raised the pattern a little bit and I used my chalk to trace it out, trace out the zip allowance so that when I take it to my sewing machine, I can just sew through. I went ahead to trace out the back dart so that when you take it to your machine, it will be easier for you to sew. I didn't trace the front dart because I did not add a dart to the front part of this dress. This is because my fabric is a bit stretchy. I turned to the other side and I traced it out too. So next, I went ahead to cut out the pleated side design. As you can see on your screen, the side design is actually pleated. So to achieve this, place your fabric on fold like so and make sure the length is 60 inches. The fabric I'm working with is actually by 60. After folding it, place your tape rule and use your chalk to mark out 20 inches. Mark it out all through so that it will serve as a guide for you while cutting it out. So as you can see, after marking it out, I went ahead to cut it out. Remember, the length is 60 inches. The width is 20 inches. You can decide to make yours longer than 60 inches depending on your height. You can as well decide to make the width more than 20 inches depending on what you want. So after cutting the first one, remember it's on both sides. So to cut the second one, I used the first one I cut to place on another folded fabric in order to cut out the second one. If you don't want to place it and cut out the second one, you can actually go ahead, use your tape rule and mark out 20 inches all through. So after that, I went ahead to cut out the second one. So guys, after cutting, I went straight to my sewing machine and I loosened my stitch from my machine setting so that I can sew through the zip allowance of the back part of this dress first. I loosened my stitch because we are still going to lose this particular stitch in order to attach the pleated side design. After stitching it, you tighten back your stitch. I went ahead to sew the dart. I am sewing the dart with 4x4. If you don't know how to sew a dart, make sure you watch that video on the description box on how to draft a basic skirt. Sew the dart for the other side and then get the front part and couple it together with the back part as I am doing in the video. I am sewing with the extra 1-inch sewing allowance I added when I was drafting the basic skirt. So if it's 1.5 inches that you added for your sewing allowance, make sure you sew through that 1.5 inches so that it won't alter the measurements. After sewing it, turn to the other side and repeat the same thing. So after that, next you get that the long pleated side design. Remember, the width is 20 inches, so while hemming, make sure you hem with 1 inch for each side. In case you do not understand what I mean by hemming, I mean that you should turn it with 1 inch and sew it just as I am doing in the video. Make sure you hem it all round. If you do not want to hem yours, you can actually weave it. I believe you guys are following with what I am doing in the video. If you are not following, please drop a comment in the comment section and I will answer you. So after hemming all round, get the second one and repeat the same thing. After hemming them, you go ahead and start pleating. You can decide to pleat with 1 inch or ½ inch, but here in this video I am pleating with ½ inch. Make sure you pleat it carefully and step by step so that it will come out nice. Remember, you are pleating the long part, not the short part. Make sure you pleat the two. So after pleating it, you go back to the down part of this dress and hem it. Remember, I added 1.5 inches for the hemming. Use the 1.5 inches and hem it all round. Do this carefully and neatly as I am doing in the video. So after hemming it all round, you take the dress to your table and lose that zip allowance. Remember, we stitched the zip allowance first with a light stitch, so go ahead and lose that stitch. Lose it carefully all through. Had it been we tightened our stitch, it would have been difficult for us to loosen, or you might end up tearing or damaging your fabric. That was why I said earlier that you should set your margin so that your stitch won't be tight. After loosening it, I opened it up like so. On the front side, use your tape to get the midpoint like so. After getting the midpoint, you can use your chalk to mark it out. After marking it out, you place your tape rule at that center where you marked the chalk and then mark out 3.5 inches or 4 inches. Here I am marking out 3.5 inches. So make sure you mark it as I am doing in the video from the down to the middle. Make sure it's visible enough. Then get into the upper part. Place your tape rule at the waist region like so and mark out 4 inches. Mark it out very well and then connect it to the other 3.5 inches or 4 inches in case you used 4 inches for yours. Connect and curve it very well as I am doing. After that, you move over to the other side and then repeat exactly the same thing. Get the midpoint and mark out 4 inches or 3.5 inches. After that, you move over to the back and repeat the same thing for the back region. This time around, just place your tape rule on that your zip allowance and mark out 4 inches. Mark it and curve it very well. So guys, after marking it out, you go ahead to use an office pin and start setting your pleated design. The end-like shape, make sure you place that pleated design on it like so and then use your office pin to secure it. After doing it to the side, you move over to the other side and get the second pleated design. Just the same thing you did for the other side, repeat it to the other side like so. I believe you are following. Please, if you're lost or if you're confused, drop your question in the comment section and I will be answering you. So guys, I took it to the sewing machine and I stitched it. As you are stitching it, you are removing the office pin. make sure you stitch it carefully all through to the hemline. So after sewing it, and make sure you double stitch so it doesn't lose. Next is to join the upper part to the lower part of the dress to form the gown proper. So to join the upper part to the lower part of this dress, first you locate the center of the lower part of the dress, then get the upper part of the dress and locate the center too. Before we continue, guys, please, for the upper part, I will be attaching the link to the video on how I made the upper part of this dress. I'll be attaching it. Just check the description box. I will also pin it down on the comment section so that it won't be hard for you to find. I tried uploading the full video, but it was not uploading because the size of the video is big. You can as well check my page, go to videos and check out the video with this particular thumbnail. This thumbnail on your screen, that is the video on how I made the upper part of the dress. It is very, very detailed. So guys, this is what the upper part of this dress looks like. So to join it to the lower part of this dress, locate the center front and mark it out. You can use your scissors to notch it. Locate the center for the lower part and notch it as well. After that, you place them center to center and start sewing with 1/2 inch. Sew it all through to the back and getting to the zip allowance side, you loosen up the zip allowance a little bit for the upper part of this dress. Loosen it a little bit so that it can enable you to sew it to the end. So after sewing it, I used bias to cover my work. You can actually weave yours. So guys, after joining it all round, I went ahead to stitch back the zip allowance that we loosened a little bit, and as well stitched back the zip allowance for the down part of this dress. Remember, we loosened the zip allowance for the lower part of this dress before we attached our pleated side design. So now use this opportunity to stitch it back, and this time around please do not loosen your stitch. Sew it back all through to the hemline. So guys, after that I went ahead to fix my invisible zipper. You can use the normal zip for yours, but I would advise you use an invisible zipper for it. I also made a video on how to fix an invisible zip without using a zipper foot, so check the description box or the comment section. I'll locate this thumbnail in my videos. It is well detailed and self-explanatory. This is what our dress looks like, guys. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, drop a nice comment and share. Remember to on your notification bell because I will be posting the process video on how to make these lovely dresses on your screen. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.